Texas environmental agents say a suspected chemical leak at an industrial plant forced all 320,000 residents in the Gulf Coast city to stop using the water. No drinking, no bathing.
Right now, it looks like we've got about 15% of the city has water that's flowing. We still got a big issue out there.
But today the public learned the plant and concerns over the water supply started more than 2 weeks ago. City officials getting reports as early as December 1st before notifying residents on the 14th.
If you're going to ask me, were we breached or were we not breached?
Quiet.
I don't know.
The ban causing a run on water in local stores. 27,000 cases of water already donated and being handed out at public water stations. 30 water samples are being tested by the EPA in Houston to determine if there is contamination in the water lines. Results are expected as soon as tomorrow. An attorney for the chemical company, they are cooperating completely with the investigation. Tammy Langner, NBC News.
Thousands of people tonight remain trapped in the Syrian city of Aleppo, hoping they are finally evacuated to safety after the Assad regime regained control. We get the latest from Bill Neely, who remains in Aleppo tonight.
4 years of war have turned Aleppo to a wasteland, where people salvage what they can from the ruins of their homes. This was the rebel-held East. President rule this rubble now. I want to tell America, he says, that we're victorious and we'll rebuild this with our bare hands. Thousands are not wanting to escape the last rebel here. A new deal may allow them out. But the last deal ended in gunfire. People scattering in terror as militiamen drove civilians back and then arrested and handcuffed them. Their fate unknown. The death throes of a divided Aleppo are chaotic.
The fighting in Aleppo is all but over. The level of the city really quite extraordinary. But there are warplanes overhead. There was shelling overnight. There is no ceasefire. There's no trust. And for the civilians still trapped, all of that's bad news.
Among them, thousands of children, like these orphans, forced to retreat from the gunfire. Regime loyalists and rebels blame each other for the collapse of the evacuation deal.
They broke it. They did not fulfill it. That's why, the process has been delayed or stopped.
Will the evacuation be back on?
Yes, I don't know.
No one knows. But people are dying of war wounds in the district that's still under siege. Doctors desperate to get them out. It is a city of misery and of death. The UN this week called it hell. And the smoke is still rising from its depths tonight. Bill Neely, NBC News, Aleppo.
The Pentagon said today that China will return an underwater U.S. drone seized by one of its naval vessels this week in the South China Sea. In a statement, the Pentagon said it had secured an understanding to return the scientific drone through what it called direct engagement with Chinese authorities. President-elect Donald Trump criticized the seizure as unprecedented. China accused the U.S. of hyping up the incident. There is new desperation in Venezuela tonight because of a cash crisis in that country. Protests and looting broke out due to a shortage. The government announced it would withdraw the largest banknote. Because of rampant inflation, the currency was almost worthless, but there were delays in circulating a new, higher banknote, leaving many people without any money. The University of Minnesota football team said today it will play in the Holiday Bowl later this month, reversing a threat to boycott the game. That threat came after the suspension of 10 players following allegations by a woman who said she was sexually assaulted by some of them. We get more tonight from Kevin Tibbles.
After boycotting practice and threatening to skip the upcoming Holiday Bowl game, the University of Minnesota football team is returning to the field.
We are ending our boycott.
The Golden Gophers stood shoulder to shoulder 2 days ago, angered over suspensions handed down to 10 players.
We are concerned that our brothers have been named publicly with reckless disregard, violation of their constitutional rights.
The football suspensions came following a police investigation into allegations by a young woman who said she had been drinking and was sexually assaulted after the season opener in September. The Hennepin County attorney declined to file criminal charges, saying there was insufficient